There were two other moderating influences, the monarchy and the Roman Catholic Church. Unable to dominate either institution, Mussolini took pains to gain the support of both. The status of the Vatican was raised to that of a sovereign state, and the Church restored to its position of authority in Italian society. There were positive achievements too, all much magnified by fascist propaganda. Mussolini launched badly needed public works. Productivity rose, on the farms, in the factories, and in the mines. Grateful foreign tourists noticed that the trains ran on time. And by taxing bachelors and rewarding mothers, Mussolini reversed the decline in the birth rate. 93 women produced 1,300 children between them. The battle for births, as it was called, would produce a new generation of Italians.
Mens sana in corpore sano. È un chiarissimo monito che si ripete da secoli, ma che dopo Roma i pedagoghi avevano spesso dimenticato o male interpretato.
As regards the Italians, he wished above all to change their character. He thought this was necessary because centuries of subjugation and disease had turned the Italians into rather weak and servile people. He wanted to improve their morale through education and their physical prowess through sport and specially prepared military gymnastic programs. Also, there was an education, which we could call warlike, that was meant to teach the Italians, who are on the whole a peace-loving people and not at all aggressive, how to fight a war should the necessity arise.
Nel caso che ci fosse necessità, a fare anche la guerra come deve essere fatta.
The regime's prestige abroad was boosted in those years by spectacular feats of daring. In 1933, the Air Minister, General Balbo, led 24 flying boats across the Atlantic. Balbo and his fellow pilots broke all records, an achievement that earned them a hero's welcome in New York.
New York gave General Balbo and his Italian flyers a roaring welcome as they paraded up Broadway in traditional style amid a hail of paper. As the airmen passed along the Grand Canyon of skyscrapers, the scene resembled a heavy snowfall. Hundreds of thousands lined both sides of the street, from the Battery to City Hall, and cheered the smiling general as he passed by.
We were proud. We used to talk about martyrs and heroes. It was important for us to be able to do that. No one had ever talked like that before the First World War. Now we talk about sacrifices and the dead. Not only that, but of past glories, Roman glories, etc. We were all glad to feel that we belonged to a strong, noble country that was renowned. We liked this situation.
Mussolini was the dux, or duce, the leader. It has been said of him that he was more popular in Italy than anyone had ever been and probably ever will be. Mussolini saw himself as the national role model, the personification of the masculine virtues.
La patria se vorrà, il sangue si darà. Luce, tu sei la luce, fiammato sei nel cuore. La patria se vorrà, il sangue si darà. Se il mondo vuol la pace, dovrà sentir la voce d'un popolo che dice luce, luce, luce.
No, il popolo sosteneva più Mussolini che il fascismo.
No, the people followed Mussolini rather than fascism. The people were carried away, fascinated by him. He had a special kind of magnetism which enchanted the people. They supported Mussolini rather than the fascist party.
In public, Mussolini was a great actor. He knew how to charm the people and make everyone feel involved.
La conclusione che io traggo di in questa giornata luminosa di sole e fervida di speranze è questa.
Mussolini era dominante.
Mussolini was a powerful figure. A glance, a gesture was enough to send the crowd into raptures. People used to become oblivious of everything but their idol and shout with tremendous enthusiasm. There and then, they had faith, because the Duce wanted them to have faith in fascism. That fascist faith for which the applause would go on and on and on.
Fascism was supported mainly by the lower middle classes and the middle classes. Agricultural workers in certain areas were also attracted to fascism, but they did so primarily because it was in their tradition to respect the authority of the state.
Nell'ambiente operaio abbiamo un andamento un po' diverso, cioè
the situation was a little different where the workers were concerned. Initially, they were anti. But as the old ones died and the new generation grew up, they too supported fascism.
Si è formata nel fascismo.
Molta gente ha aderito in principio perché era convinta.
To start with, a lot of people belonged because they believed in it. Some belonged for other reasons. In fact, there were those who joined the party because they needed work. To become a state employee, it was necessary to produce the party membership card, which was also known mockingly as the meal ticket.
Quella tessera che ironicamente veniva chiamata anche tessera del pane.
An essential characteristic of the regime was the cultivation of militarism. Mussolini was determined to change the nature of Italians and make them dynamic and instinctively aggressive.
Il partito nazionale fascista è un esercito, o se voi volete ancora è un ordine, nel quale si entra per servire e per obbedire.
Like Hitler in Germany, Mussolini declared that war alone could make a people truly noble. Only blood could turn the blood-stained wheels of history. To remain healthy, he said, a nation should make war every 25 years. Much of Mussolini's overblown rhetoric was part of the show. He talked about 8 million bayonets and an air force large enough to blot out the sun. But it was a show with a purpose. Only an aggressive, self-confident Italy, prepared to make war when the right moment came, could earn the respect of the world. From the age of 8, all children were made to march with guns. Better one day as a lion, said Mussolini, than 100 years as a sheep.
Soprattutto è un obiettivo interno.
The main objective was internal. It was meant to create a fighting spirit and to give the impression that the country was a very important one and that fascism was going to achieve historic goals which it would have to do sooner or later through conflict. This sort of boasting was also meant to impress countries abroad. But where that was concerned, he was more cautious. He played the role of the one